Welcome back to our comedy special. Without further ado, please welcome Dhaya. Pronounce your last name.
Lakshminarayanan.
Now you can see why I had her do that. We can take a look at Dhaya doing stand-up before we talk a little bit more about how she got into comedy.
Before I started the stand-up comedy, I actually wanted to be an actress. Yeah. But my parents wanted me to go somewhere where there are lots of Indian boys who are too afraid to touch me. So they sent me to MIT. And people were always like, that must have been so great for you, that ratio. Yeah, maybe I didn't have to compete with a bunch of women for the one cute guy. I had to compete against R2-D2 action figures and Battlestar Galactica.
Okay, I'm looking at you. I don't see comic. But you know, we have in our head what we think a comic looks like.
Ugly, yes. Of course, so I'll take that as a compliment.
Was I that transparent? No. So you went to MIT.
Yes.
And how did you end up doing comedy?
Yeah, well, every Indian parent wants their child to grow up, get 2 degrees from MIT, and become a stand-up comic. So I was just fulfilling their destiny. No, actually, I spent a lot of years in the business world. I was in finance. I was a venture capitalist. And you know, I'm 5 feet tall, I'm 98 pounds, so I didn't play golf. I don't know how to talk about sports statistics. I'm not like hanging out in the back smoking cigars with the businessmen. So the equalizing force was really having a sense of humor. So when I would negotiate term sheets or I would be doing business deals, I was always the funny person. So after I left the business world, people were like, you should do comedy, you're really funny. And I just thought that they were trying to ask me out. But then I was like, okay, I should really try this. And so I did it, and I fell in love with it, and I haven't looked back.
Okay, so being funny among people that you work with, going on stage and being funny, 2 completely different things.
Yes, totally.
So tell me about the transition. How'd you deal with that?
Well, you just have to go up and do it. There's no substitute for it. So you have to be willing to fail and fail big. And if you are not willing to do that, then you don't even have the courage to get up on stage and try something. Because if someone laughs, you're getting instant feedback. So there's no like annual review in stand-up comedy. Your boss doesn't say, oh, in September you did these 3 things great, here's your raise. It's instant feedback. So either they laugh or they don't. So you just have to be willing to try it. And in my case, my first show was really successful, and I said, I'm gonna keep doing this. I mean, since then I've had bad shows, but then you remember it fondly and you want to keep doing it.
So how do you deal with, say for example, you throw out a joke and it's just flat and you end up getting a heckler? I always wonder, like, how do you deal with a heckler without losing it?
Well, usually if a joke just dies, I'll find a way to recover from it. But a heckler is a little bit of a different animal. They're kind of a shapeshifter. So they really want to, they think that they're helping you. They think they're helping the show. So when they yell out something, it's usually because they want attention, or they are drunk. So, so the only way to deal with that is to kind of get the audience behind you. So I've had fights break out in the middle of my set. I had someone go behind me and punch the glass wall behind I was performing, and it shattered the glass. I've had people yell things out in the middle, and usually they don't expect me to come back. So when I do something to shut them down, it gets a huge laugh from the audience. It's because you have such
a small, petite frame, and all of a sudden you throw it out there, and they're like, whoa.
Yeah,
I didn't know she was going to come at me like that.
Exactly. No one's going to run up and hit me, so I have a competitive advantage there.
Now, we have something in common. We both grew up in Alabama. You are from Birmingham, Alabama. You went to high school. That's comedy.
Yes, and if you see my act, it plays prominently. Being an Indian girl in Alabama provided for a lot of entertainment. I mean, it was interesting because in the South, if you're not white, you're black. So
tell me about it.
Okay. So we have something in common too, that we both grew up black in the South. So it was fascinating because people would come up to me and they'd be like, "What are you?" And I'd be like, "I'm Indian." They'd be like, really? What reservation? It's like, no, not casino Indian, like writing the software for the casinos Indian. So it was different.
Wow. Okay, so just a few moments. I want to make sure that people can find you. You have an event coming up. Tell us where you're going to be and when it's going to be.
So it's Funny Girls, which is over 3 days, September 29th, 30th, and October 1st at the Brava Theater, at the Julia Morgan Center for the Arts, as well as the Lucy Stern Community Theater in Palo Alto. And it's an all-women lineup. It's great, very diverse, very fun, and if you come and heckle, I will take you out.
Oh, wow. That's a challenge. Okay.
That's just my way of showing love.
Okay, love. We got a lot of love here.
Yeah.
To find out where Dhaya is going to be performing, you can always go to her website, DhayaComedy.com, and we're going to be back with more laughs after this break. You're right, in Alabama, they're like...